Hello, once again. Thank you so much for joining me. We are doing a Course in Miracles lessons, and we are on lesson 280 today. What limits can I lay upon God's Son? Whom God created limitless is free. I can invent imprisonment for him, but only in illusions, not in truth. No thought of God has left its Father's mind. No thought of God is limited at all. No thought of God but is forever pure. Can I lay limits on the Son of God, whose Father willed that he be limitless and like himself in freedom and love? Today, let me give honor to your Son, for thus alone I find the way to you, Father. I lay no limits on the Son you love, and you created limitless. The honor that I give to him is yours, and what is yours belongs to me as well. And that's the end of lesson 280. What limits can I lay upon God's Son? I'm going to go right to Tina Spalding's channelings. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one you know as Jesus. The self righteous judgments you lay on others, you do not see as imprisoning you, but they do. They keep you away from the truth of what you are because they keep the illusion of your brother's fallibility and failings in your mind. You must see yourself with the same value system that you put on others. When you judge others for being lazy, you will judge yourself as being lazy. When you judge others for being guilty, you will judge yourself as being ugly. He will magnify what's in your mind by laying it on your brothers. You will magnify what's in your mind by laying it on your brothers and sisters. This is how the ego relieves itself of pain in the form of projection. It takes what is in your mind, it puts it on somebody else. But really, it does not remove it. It merely displaces it a little bit. In fact, it magnifies it because you are putting your energy into believing that the other is guilty. You cannot remove from your mind the guilt that you feel, the self loathing that you feel, or the judgment that you feel by projecting it onto others. In fact, by doing so, you keep it alive. So understand that in forgiveness practice, as you stop doing these things, you bring relief. You bring relief to your mind and you bring it back into balance with truth. I am that one you know as Jesus, and we will speak to you tomorrow. As I was reading Tina Spalding's channelings, what I realize is she's channeled when you judge others for being lazy, you judge yourself as lazy. I almost see it in an opposite perspective. When you believe that you yourself are lazy, you will judge others as lazy because you are projecting what you believe onto other people. When you are feeling guilty, you are going to project that guilt onto others. I think of, when you confront a teenager, when you confront someone for something you know that they did and they know that they did and they feel the guilt and they kind of erupt a little bit in a counter accusatory tone and are almost what I would consider dramatically over protesting what you do. What do you mean you think I did this? They yell at you. It's because we are projecting that angst and that horrible feeling we feel with the guilt, not only of the action in this kind of scenario, but of then trying to cover up that guilt and that action with yet another lie, another illusion. And so the discomfort that we feel because we are becoming more and more out of alignment with our truth becomes overwhelming. And that's why we have these explosive responses. We cannot lay any kind of guilt or judgment on others without having seen it in ourselves or believed it in ourselves first. In much the same way that the only reason that something someone else says to you will hurt you, will impact you, is if you believe it to be true about yourself. When I have been working as a nurse and people have called me names, I had one woman in a nursing home who looked at me and said, "You're a murderer." It didn't bother me at all. But when I had someone that I knew look at me and say, "You're mean," or "You're whatever it is," that cut me kind of to the core because I believed it. I resonated with what was being said. And so it impacted me differently. We can't lay limits on the Son of God because we are laying it on ourselves. Practicing forgiveness then allows us to pull our energy back from what we are trying to project onto others. It allows us to look at it, and then it allows us to understand that even that belief, I am ugly and I am lazy, is false because God doesn't create ugliness. God doesn't create slothliness, if you will. He creates only love. He creates things that work. And so laziness might be restfulness, if that makes sense. We can't limit the unlimited unless we are looking at illusions. So when you find yourself judging anyone or anything, especially yourself, but others as well, because you are still judging yourself, become aware, pull that energy back, and practice the fact that you know that that is an illusion. Be willing to forgive it, for you know not what you do. Be willing to forgive the mistake, and be willing and open to have the Holy Spirit show you how to see this differently. And as you open up to that, that is part of forgiveness. That will move you from that limited, restricted, negative place to a space of the openness, the expansiveness, and the eternity of God. Have a wonderful day. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye bye.